Welcome back to Suzukiville, and we are doing electrics and shock absorbers.
It's quite shocking all round. So we're starting with these that arrived today, and we're giving them a little test fit. Didn't use the supplied nasty old bolt, but I preferred nice Allen key there, and still might modify these with a hole or two. But anyway, shortened that Allen bolt, and there it is, mounted. Less complicated than I thought it would be. I'm going to try something slightly different on the other side and see which I prefer. Stay tuned. Just shortening the bolt, and I did start off on the other one. I started off with a hacksaw, and 10 minutes into it and a very sore elbow, I reverted to Mr. Kawasaki. There's no point in struggling when you've got a friend like Mr. Kawasaki.
And there you go, and there is no difference. What I was going to try on this side, because I thought it might be an idea, is actually putting the bracket outside so that the lights themselves weren't so inboard. But it works like that. It didn't work, and it works like that. I like them. They're cool. Similar to what we had on the Ducati, but slightly different. These have white halos and white running lights, and a little smaller, bit more discreet. Yes, and I actually used the tester, and there we go. So that's low beam, which is the halo, rather nice, and that's the high beam. So yellow goes to red, white goes to yellow. That's confusing. There we go. Yeah, cool. And actually it doesn't have to, because obviously we're not going to be using this switch, so we can switch the high-low aspect to something completely different. Anyway, that's rather cool. I shall wire them together. Wow. So I was just about to cut these and wire them in properly, and then I reconsidered the situation, because I mean there's loads, but what I'm thinking is there's a lot of wiring back here. What I'm thinking is that once I get the tank off, I may be able to pull all that back under, strap it to the frame somewhere under the tank and get rid of this bird's nest up front, and just have the bare minimum, i.e. those two black wires, and anything else that I need to actually come up front. I mean, I know the Speedo stuff comes up front, but the indicator switches, for example, will go into the new clip-ons, which will replace those, and they can potentially come straight from the tank. So maybe paring some of that back, stripping that back, and just bringing forward what I need. So I really should take this tank off, but first of all I want to try and fit one of these shock absorbers. I'm not sure if I take one off, will the whole back end just go? I don't know. Let's try the top bolt off, and that yeah, that went well, because that's now stuck in the bloody socket. I think it's because I used the 14mm, assuming it was metric, being Japanese, but of course it's probably been put on afterwards by yes, Mr. America. Yeah, so as I thought, yeah, pretty much dropped to as far as it will go, because thankfully I left the other side on. So I need to lift the bike up somehow. Tedious. Do I need the engine crane on that, really, or do I just jack it up from underneath? I don't know. Jack worked to the point of getting at least that one back on, but I've got to go another 2 inches, and yeah, so that's not going to work. Alright, proper jack did the job. It's kind of in position. It's not fixed, as you can see, because the orifice is not big enough. So I'm assuming we can take that C-clip off and find ourselves a bigger entry. Yeah, I think it looks kind of cool. Do you agree? Shockingly cool. There, good job I bought all these. Not the first time we've had to use them. Just so much easier when you got the right tools, I have to say. Trouble is, of course, now it's too damn loose, isn't it? So at the risk of mullering my brand new lovely shiny shock absorbers, I am going to drill this out until it fits, and it might be very slim. And we're going to do it bit by bit, if you'll excuse the obvious intended pun. So the hole was exactly 25/64, I'm sure it was millimeters. But anyway, so I've taken up 2 notches. I'm going to skip that and going for 27/64. Just know it's going to be 7/16 thing. Getting pretty hot over here and still at it. And this is where you need like a mill or a lathe or whatever to just do this instantly and easily. And yes, I'm oiling the drill. I've been at this some time now. And I wrecked one drill, and I'm not going to wreck that drill. I got it out to 7/16, and it still doesn't fit. And I'm looking at, it's so marginal. I mean, look at how thin that's getting now. So what I'm back at these as well is that we remove the, well, we've already removed it and mullered it. We remove the metal casing, core, whatever you want to call it, and we find some nylon or rubber. I'm thinking nylon with the right outside diameter for the shock absorber. And then whatever the inside diameter is, we can drill it out real easy to fit that, because that's all it needs. It's literally just something to seat that. And we actually used nylon bushings on the suspension on the Renault 5TS when we raced it. I think it was classified as cheating because it should be rubber, and therefore it just stiffened it up that little bit more. Anyway, clearly those are rubber, but they don't fit either. But yeah, rubber or I think nylon. I want some nylon bushings, so I'm going to measure that as accurately as I possibly can. So 12mm is the inside diameter that we require to fit on the stud. More trouble with studs, what a surprise. And then I want to say 16mm for the outside diameter, which is the crucial measurement, because we can always drill out anything in the middle. So 16mm. And while we're here with these, I want to check out this one too at the top, just in case it's different, because it may well be. It's exactly the same, so that's cool. Again, can't tell you how important it is to have the right tool. So easy to take this shit off with those. Yeah, and honestly the same goes for that. You know, if I had a mill and a lathe and etc., I mean, I could have just whacked that out in no time at all, but I haven't, and I can't afford one. They're very expensive. Not least of all, I've got nowhere to put it, so that would cost another 30 grand just to extend the garage. Yes, so that's not going to happen. And I want to extend it this way, because I want a lift so that can get out of the way. Talking of which, it's about time I got myself a decent micrometer thing, digital one. It's just difficult to read, you know. So she's back on her original footing for the time being. I think next stage, oh no, I've ordered some stuff. I've ordered some more stuff. Yes, I'm always ordering stuff. I am equipping myself to do proper brake bleeding rather than rags and all that bullshit. So I've ordered a brake bleeding kit. I shall be, well, I'm not going to bleed this, but I need to bleed the brakes on the R6 and fill and bleed. Anyway, on this I shall be draining the brake fluid so that I can, I don't know, why am I draining the brake fluid? Well, I'm definitely going to be fitting a new one of those because that one leaks like a sieve, and I'm also going to be finding out where the other thing goes, up there somewhere. Yeah, into the dark void under Jolene. Yes, talking of which, I'll probably need to take off the fuel tank, right? Shall we at least do that before the day is out and end on a high note by spilling gasoline all over the garage floor? Yes, it's quite a potential possibility, isn't it? I'll finish my fag first if it's all the same to you. Alright, so we've loosened it off at the back end, and rags at the ready for flooding of fuel. And I think what I want to do is I think I want to take it off there, the main line in, because then at least I can pinch the hose if it starts pissing fuel everywhere. It's supposed to be turned off, right? That is the off position, I think, because it has no reserve, which is kind of strange. Well, I had everything at the ready just in case, so actually I had to take it off with the pliers, which would have helped me crimp it had it started being fuel everywhere. I had the rag ready and everything, and we're good. And this is a horrible old piece of pipe actually, so we'll be renewing that for sure. It's kind of crunchy. Pretty sure fuel pipes shouldn't be crunchy. Yeah. So that's not the main fuel, obviously. Duh. For some reason that goes into carburetor number 2. Anyway, the main feed is up here. So there, yes, rags at the ready. Well, only minor flooding to report. And ooh, look, there's a rather large horn. I don't think we need that. Now we have everything off. And this is kind of yeah, so here's the main fuel line, and that goes I don't know. And we're still kind of none the wiser on the airbox. Wow, this stuff's kind of crammed in. Looks a bit worse for wear. Doubt we can get a new one of those though, so we'll just leave it there for the minute. Yeah, so where does that where does that hydraulic thing go from the caliper? It comes there. It's this. So it's part of the loom. So it's not brake fluid, it's part of the loom. It's just kind of looks like it could be brake fluid at the front end. It's very confusing. That's why I got confused. Yeah. Duh. Wow, perhaps I should get a manual. Anyway, it's safely off on the bench, bunged, and ready to de-gelinalize. Is that a word? Of course it's a word, I just made it. And did I say already? I can't remember. I'm not going to fill this like I thought I would to make it flat and lovely. I'm going to keep that as a feature. It's quite a nice little scallop. I am going to fill these, and you'll be glad to know they're just the right size to be covered up by a tink sticker, which is what's going to happen. So I'm not going to fill them too much. I don't know, what went there? GS550 sticker, or leaded fuel only? Do not add diesel? I don't know. Still in two minds about these. I'm going to fill it, see what it looks like once I sand it down, and if it starts getting too messy, I'm going to leave the holes there so I can put the badges back on. It just starts getting too complicated. Well, you don't want to complicate matters on this build. This is a flipper. So, as I thought, we can pull the bird's nest back to about here, which is, yeah, it's not perfect. That's as far back as it will go. But I have kind of doubled it back on itself here, as you can see. So that was full out. Now it's a U-bend and not a U-bank. And what else we got? We've got the lights themselves and the brake switch, and this goes up to the throttle and everything. So we can disconnect that, pull it back.
And that's what I thought was some kind of hydraulics. So that goes down and under here, and potentially, because it comes out over here and is all part of that same loom, potentially we can route that instead of under here. See it wiggling around. Potentially we can route it over the top here through the same gap and tidy that up a bit, pull it all back so it's out of the way. Although, yeah, at the end of the day it kind of needs to be there, but well, does it? Yeah, we got that connector that goes to the handlebars. Apart from that, we've got the lights, and we've got these two new wires like this from these new lights. Other than that, we've got a dead end, a loopy loop, and our indicators, which we can pull where we like. So yeah, I'm kind of tempted to pull that whole loom, that one there, through here and get it out of the way. I'll see. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it a day for now. It's probably not a day for the end of the video, but I've had enough. I'm hot and sweaty and hungry. So as usual, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and encourage others to watch my lunacy.